Hi, in this video I am going to clear your all doubts about flip-flop circuits. For your convenience, I have divided this video into 4 sections. Number 1, all about SR flip-flop. Number 2, it's all about D flip-flop. Number 3 is about JK flip-flop. And number 4 is about T flip-flop. So let's watch the video completely. For each of the flip-flops, I am going to firstly draw the circuit of the flip-flop. Then I will explain you the circuit. Number 3, I am going to draw the characteristic table, and then I will find the characteristic equation of the circuit. Now, a flip-flop or a bistable multivibrator is actually a 1-bit memory cell. Here I have drawn the set reset flip-flop, or what is commonly known as an SR flip-flop. This is actually a clocked SR flip-flop. Here S is the set input, R is the reset input, and CLK is the clock input. Clock is nothing but a rectangular pulse train. Okay. Now this is the Q output, and this is actually the complemented Q or the Q bar output. Now for a SR flip-flop, the truth table looks like this. When S1 R0, the circuit output will be set. Set means it will be 1. When S0 R equals to 1, the circuit output or the Q output will reset, that is, it becomes 0. Now when S and R, both of them equals to 0, then the output will no change, that is, actually it holds the previous output, or in this case the circuit will act as the memory element. And now the most important part, when S equals to R equals to 1, the circuit is actually undefined. Why it is undefined, I will explain you later on. Let's start our discussion by considering the previous state output, or QT equals to 0. So I put QT equals to 0, here Q equals to 0, Q bar equals to 1. For S equals to 1, R equals to 0, and whenever we are talking about the flip-flop circuit, we have to consider clock pulse equals to 1. Now let's see what happens. Now for this NAND gate, when S equals to 1 and the clock pulse is also equals to 1, this NAND gate output will give 0, and since R equals to 0, this NAND gate output will be 1. For Q0 and this input equals to 1, this means it will make Q bar 1, and 1 0 makes this output or the next state output to 1. So for QT0, ST1, RT0, the next state output will be 1. That is the set output. Now, if the Q output or the previous state output was 1, so I have considered here 1. So my Q bar output should be 0. Now here if Q1, that means both of the NAND gate input are equals to 1, this gives this output 0, and for this 0 and this 0, the output will be 1. So if the previous state output was 1, for ST1 and RT0, the next state output will also be 1, and this is our set case or set output. In this case, now I am considering that S equals to 0, R equals to 1, and the previous state output is 0. Now what happens? For this input equals to 0, this NAND gate output should give 1. And since clock output and the reset input, both of them equals to 1, this NAND gate output should give 0. Now for this Q0 and this 0, it becomes Q bar 1, and 1 makes this Q or the next state output to 0. Now if the previous state output was 1, what happens? Then Q bar should be 0. Now for this 1 and 0, it makes this 1, and 1 will make this 0 again. So if the previous state output was 1, then also for S0 R1 the output is 0, and this is the case is known as the reset output. Let's check when S equals to 0 and R equals to 0 and the previous state output is 0, what happens? For this 0 and clock 1, this output should give 1, and again this NAND gate output should also give 1. If the previous state output is 0, that means the Q bar output is 1. So 0, 1 makes this 1, and 1 makes this Q output to 0. So if the previous state output is 0, for S equals to 0, R equals to 0, the next state output will also be 0. And if the previous state output is 1, what happens? If this becomes 1, then 1 and 1 makes this 0, and 0 and 1 makes this 1. So if the previous state output is 1, then also the next state output will also equals to 1. That means this is the no change state, or for this case, that is when S equals to 0, R equals to 0, the SR flip-flop is actually acting like a memory element. Now the last case, that is when S equals to R equals to 1, what happens to this circuit? Let's check this out. For S equals to 1, R equals to 1, both of the inputs since equals to 1, it will give this output 0, and also it will give this NAND gate output to 0. For QT equals to 0, that is for the previous state output equals to 0, this means 0 and 0 makes this 1, that is the Q bar should be 1, and 1 and 0, follow this, 1 and 0 makes this output equals to 1. So what happens that Q and Q bar, both of them equals to 1, and that is in contrary with the Boolean algebra. So I am putting a question mark over this, since this is an undetermined state. Now if the previous state output was 1, what happens to this? For Q equals to 1, that means 1 and 0 again makes this Q bar 1, and 1 and 0 again makes this output equals to 1. So again an undetermined state appears here. So in the characteristic table, I must put a question mark, or it can be labeled as an undetermined case, undetermined. So actually this is the problem of an SR flip-flop, that you can't make S equals to R equals to 1 simultaneously. So let's find the characteristic equation from this characteristic table. I have drawn a Carnot map with 3 variables as QT and STRT, or simply SR. I have plotted all the ones and zeros from this characteristic table. I have drawn 2 don't care terms, 2 cross marks, that is the don't care terms, since these are equals to these undetermined states. Now as from the Carnot map simplification, what we can get, that this is actually a quad, and this one with this one makes a dual. So QT plus 1 will be equals to S or R bar QT, or simply R bar Q. So this is the characteristic equation, but no, that's not the end of the characteristic equation, as because here whenever I have treated this quad, I am actually taken these undetermined terms, or these don't care terms equals to 1. So for removing these don't care terms, we have to put an additional condition, that is S and R must be equals to 0. Now what this implies, whenever you have to put S equals to R equals to 1, So this is the undetermined state. So by keeping this condition S and R equals to 0, actually we are removing that case, that is for S equals to R equals to 1. Since for S1 R equals to 1, SR equals to 1, and the condition tells us that it must be SR equals to 0. Let's move on to the D flip-flop. Here this is the circuit for a D flip-flop using only NAND gates. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 and fifth NAND gate is actually using here as a NOT gate. Now let us define the characteristic table. Now what will be the characteristic table? Again, let us take Q equals to 0 and Q bar equals to 1, that is these are the previous state outputs. For D equals to 0, what happens? This NAND gate will give 1, and since this is a NAND gate which actually acts as a NOT gate, so here the output is 1. So for clock pulse and this output 1 makes this NAND gate output equals to 0. For this Q0 and this 0 it becomes 1, and for both of the inputs are equals to 1, Q output should be 0. For Qt 0, D0, I get Qt plus 1 equals to 0. Now what happens if Qt is 1? So for Qt is 1, this means 1 and 0 makes this 1, and 1 and 1 makes this again to 0. So for Qt1 and D equals to 0, it makes Qt plus 1 equals to 0. So this is the reset case. Now let's move on to for D1. If D becomes 1, then this NAND gate output should give 0, and this NOT gate output or the NAND gate acts as a NOT gate, output will give 0. So this makes this NAND gate output equals to 1. For 0 Qt or the previous state output equals to 0, it makes 0 1 means 1, and 1 0 makes this output equals to 1. So for Qt 0, D equals to 1, Qt plus 1 equals to 1. Now for Qt equals to 1, what happens? If this Qt or the previous state output is 1, then 1 and 1 makes this 0, and 0 and 0 makes this also equals to 1, and this is the set case. Now there will be no other cases for a D-type flip-flop. Now if you carefully look this truth table or this characteristic table, what you find? You will find that Qt plus 1 is actually following the value of D. Whenever D equals to 0, Qt plus 1 equals to 0, and for D equals to 1, Qt plus 1 equals to 1. So you need not to draw a Carnot map to find out the characteristic equation for a D-type flip-flop. You simply can write Qt plus 1 equals to D, and this is the characteristic equation for a D-type flip-flop. Actually that's why called the D-type flip-flop as a data flip-flop or a delay flip-flop. So moving on to our third flip-flop, that is the JK flip-flop. This is the circuit for a JK flip-flop using NAND gates. Let's find out the characteristic table for this JK flip-flop. Again we are considering initially J0 K0. This makes this NAND gate output equals to 1. For both of the inputs equal to 1, it makes the next state output is 0. Now if the previous state output was 1, what happens? For this 1 and this K NAND gate output equals to 1, this makes this equals to 0, and 0 and 1 makes this output equals to 1. So if the previous state output is 1, then for J0 K0 it will be 1 in the next state. So this is our no change state. Or this is the memory state. Now let's move on to J1 K0. for j equals to 1 and k equals to 0, now this NAND gate input, if the previous state output was 0, then Q bar should be 1, and for this NAND gate input, one of the inputs is having the value of j, the other one is the value of clock pulse, and the third one is actually we are getting from Q bar. So if Qt or the previous state output was 0, that means that Q bar output was 1, and all of the 1 makes this NAND gate output equals to 0. And for this NAND gate, since k equals to 0, so this NAND gate output should be 1. Now for the previous state output equals to 0, it makes 0 and 1 equals to 1, and 1 and 0 makes this Q output or the next state output equals to 1. Now if the previous state output was 1, what happens? See carefully. If this Q1, that means Q bar is 0, so this 0 makes this NAND gate output equals to 1. So for Qt or the previous state output equals to 1, this 1 and 1 makes this 0, and 0 and 1 makes this output 1. So for j equals to 0, k equals to 0, if the previous state output was 1, then the next state output will also be 1, and this is the set case. For j equals to 0, k equals to 1, if the previous state output was 0, what happens? If the previous state output was 0, then Q bar should be 1. And for j equals to 0 and k equals to 1. Now since this j input is 0, this makes this NAND gate output equals to 1. And now check this NAND gate inputs. One is having the value of k, that is equals to 1. Other one is from the clock pulse, and that is also equals to 1. And since the Q output is taken as 0, so this will make this NAND gate output equals to 1. So for Q0 and this one, this NAND gate output should 1, and 1 makes this output 0. So for Qt0, if j equals to 0 and k equals to 1, it makes Qt plus 1 equals to 0. And now for Qt equals to 1, again for this case, Qt equals to 1, so this 1 makes this Q bar equals to 0, and this 1 in this NAND gate input makes all the inputs equals to 1, and that makes this NAND gate output equals to 0. So 1 and 0 makes this 1, and 1 makes this equals to 0. So this is the reset case, as because if you put j equals to 0, k equals to 1, for Qt0 or Qt equals to 1, Qt plus 1 equals to 0, and that is the reset case. Let's move on to the interesting case of j equals to k equals to 1. Remember, for the SR flip-flop, we get an undetermined state. Now here what's happened, let's check this out. So for j equals to k equals to 1, we consider Qt equals to 0. Now this 0 makes this NAND gate output 1, and as because Qt equals to 0, that means Q bar t is 1. So this makes all of the inputs of this 3 input NAND gate equals to 1. That means the output should be 0. For Q0 and this one, it makes this NAND gate output 1, and this 1 and 0 makes this NAND gate output equals to 1. So for Qt0, j equals to 1, k equals to 1, I get Qt plus 1 equals to 1. Let's consider if Qt equals to 1. If Qt equals to 1, it makes this NAND gate or the Q bar output equals to 0. So again, considering this NAND gate, here the input, one of the input is 0, so this makes this NAND gate output 1, and for this NAND gate, all the inputs are equals to 1, which makes this NAND gate output equals to 0. So for QT1, 1 and 0 makes this 1, and 1 and 1 makes this output equals to 0. So for J equals to 1, K equals to 1, and if QT was 1, then the next state output should be 0. Now what happens here? Let us look at this case very carefully. So whenever J equals to K equals to 1, if QT, that is the previous state output, is 0, the next state output is 1, and if the previous state output is 1, the next state output becomes 0. So this is actually the case which we are called as a toggle case. And remember, this is the most interesting or the most important output for a JK flip-flop. To find the characteristic equation for a JK flip-flop, this is the Carnot map where I have plotted the ones and zeros from the characteristic table. And this is a group of two ones, and this is a one which can be grouped with this one, and the equation can be written as, that is, QT plus 1 can be written as Q bar J or K bar Q or K bar Q. So this is the characteristic equation for a JK flip-flop. So far, if you are watching this video, please subscribe this channel Electronics with Expert. So let's move to the last and the fourth case, that is the T-type flip-flop. T-type flip-flop is nothing but a simplified version of a JK flip-flop. Here both the inputs of the JK flip-flop is actually tied up, and this is known as the T input. So for QT equals to 0 and T equals to 0, let's find this characteristic equation. For T0, both of the NAND gate outputs are 1. For 0 QT, that is 0 and 1 makes this 1, and 1 and 1 makes this output equals to 0. So for QT 0, T equals to 0, QT plus 1 equals to 0. For QT equals to 1, again for T equals to 0, what happens? If this is 1, so 1 and 1 makes this 0, 0 and 1 makes this 1. So QT plus 1 equals to 1 if QT equals to 1 and T equals to 0. Now if T equals to 1, what happens? For T equals to 1, and if QT equals to 0, that means that this 0 makes this NAND gate output 1, and if QT 0, that means Q bar equals to 1. So for this NAND gate, all the inputs are equals to 1, which makes this NAND gate output equals to 0. So for QT 0, 0 and 1 makes this 1, and 1 and 0 makes this equals to 1. So for QT 0, QT plus 1 equals to 1. And for QT equals to 1, what happens? If QT equals to 1, that means this 1 and all the inputs of this NAND gate output becomes 1 to make this output equals to 0, and since this is equals to 1, that means Q bar equals to 0, which makes this NAND gate output equals to 1. So for QT1, 1 and 0 makes this output 1, and 1 and 1 makes this output equals to 0. So this is all about the characteristic table for a T-type flip-flop. Let's find the characteristic equation for a T-type flip-flop, and what we have find that there are two isolated ones in this Carnot map, which becomes QT plus 1 equals to Q bar T, that is, this is Q bar T or QT bar. So this can be expressed as Q exclusive T. So this is the characteristic equation for a T-type flip-flop. If you are interested about digital electronics, you can watch digital electronics tutorials on this channel by clicking the playlist or by watching these videos. So goodbye, see you later.